Well, the situation with the Strait of Hormuz continues to weigh in on the ag marketplace. A lot of volatility there. And how is that impacting the markets today? Well, we're taking a look at the daily market summary with Jason Meyer of agmarket.net. Jason, how do we see those grain markets trade today?
The grain market saw a lot of green in the marketplace today, a lot of enthusiasm. So it was just nice to see we haven't broken out of any recent ranges, but it feels like maybe for the time being, might have put a little bottom in the corn market here today.
And when we look at pretty much every single post that's been going on about the Strait of Hormuz, it's really weighing in on the ag marketplace. But it does feel like maybe with each post that we're getting a little bit more, how do I want to say, locked in on those prices. Maybe not necessarily locked in, but it feels like each post is creating less of a ripple than the last, right?
That's correct. It just seems like any news that's coming out of Iran or the of Hormuz, it good or bad, it doesn't seem to impact the marketplace here as much. Just like, oh yeah, that happened, so no big deal. I don't want to say it so nonchalantly, but that's kind of how the marketplace feels. And today it felt like the market, we got planning ongoing. It's a little bit wet in Iowa, but there's other parts of the nation that are planting. So farmers are not in the mode to even sell grain. So we've seen corn basis, bean basis definitely improve, just to try to encourage some farmer engagement out there. And I think the next lever to encourage movement in the country is to increase the futures prices. You get the prices high enough, farmers are going to move some grain even during that planting window.
And now this is way down the road, but if we're looking at that fertilizer situation, and some farmers might not be able to get the amount of fertilizer that they need, or at least that they would usually get for their crops. So looking at that, less fertilizer might see less yields. If we see fewer yields come to fruition come harvest season, what would that do to the market prices?
The balance sheet still has a lot of wiggle room just in case we do see yields drop a little bit. We're already starting to see people talk about planting being delayed here, especially in Iowa. Last year on April 10th, everybody was going as hard as they possibly could. And this year it just seems like we're going to be a week later here. But yeah, it's the balance sheet just too much out there. You got a big crop coming in Brazil in the Safrinha corn crop. We haven't heard any issues weather-wise there. Last week, you had the Rosario Grain Exchange in Argentina state that they think they're going to have a 67 million metric ton corn crop. So that would be an all time record if realized. So the farmers don't want to hear this, but if we have some delays planting wise in the US or we can't get fertilizer, that's probably not going to have an immediate impact on the corn futures market just because the world supply is so great.
Then over on the livestock side of things, how did cattle and hogs trade today?
The cattle market has had a nice little rally here. We've been making new contract highs this week, but today, unfortunately, we saw a little bit of pressure. The bull needs to get fed every day. They're in with the grain markets going higher. I just think there's some commodity spreading going long the grains and short the meat market. There's some hope that if this war in Iran does come to a conclusion here, that'll bring gas prices lower, and that should help demand for both pork and hogs, or our cattle.
And then, of course, we are also looking at that summer demand increasing, or at least spring demand as well. And have we seen that start to get factored in a little bit? I mean, the weather has been nicer already for people to be out grilling.
I think that's already been factored in, but a lot of people are talking about that increased demand coming. We're not going to just create more beef magically here. And it just seems like the diets that a lot of Americans are going towards definitely is calling for more protein in the diet. So I think that is a good underlying support factor for the meat market as well.
All right, Jason, lots of great information today. For anybody who would like to get in touch with agmarket.net for more marketing information, how can they do that?
Riley, the best way would be to go to our website, eggmarket.net. then click on my profile or one of my teammates' profile and reach out to us, and we'd be more than happy to speak with you.
Great visiting with you as always, Jason, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you, Riley. Everybody have a great day now.